Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lainey. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to be doing a Pan Those Shadows update, so if you're interested in seeing that, then just keep on watching. Before we get into that though, please remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video from me. Alright you guys, so we are back for another Pan Those Shadows update. I did not do an update in July because I had not hit pans on anything, and I just also didn't have time to film around that time. So I just decided to skip that update because there was nothing really exciting going on, and now we have an exciting update. So I'm really excited about that. Before I get into that though, I always forget to mention this, but this project was created by Alexi. I will link her channel down below. There's no like project playlist or anything. It was just started by her, and I did want to give her credit for that. So let's hop up into the update. I pre-swatched my color story. So this was the color story we were working with when I rolled these in June, and these are all new except for the top shade. So let's start with that one. That comes from my Impressionism palette from Musée Beauty. At the last update, I had used it 3 times, so I needed to use it 17 more times or hit pan. We had the shade Scintillate, which is right here, and as you can see, there is a little baby pan. These are deep pans. Now, it's a very much, you know, a very small, like, kind of hole and pan in the shadow, and that's because I primarily used this as a liner topper. I also ended up buying Inglot Duraline, so I would scrape a little bit off to mix it with the mixing medium to create eyeliner. And so that's why the pan is very, very little. But I like this shade. It's not something I enjoy panning. I just found it hard to use it in, you know, a variety of looks. So I used this a total of 8 times, 3 in my first update, 5 since that update. So I think it would usually take longer to hit pan on these, but because I was primarily using it as a liner, it went a little faster that way. Next up was my singles. So if you don't know, in this series, I've been focusing at least 1 shade on my singles. I used to have like 9 shades in this palette, and then I would randomly generate one. Going forward, I think I'm just going to take my singles list and randomly generate one. So that's a little change. I'm pretty like fluid with this project. I keep making changes to it, but that's okay. So I had the shade Exosphere from Divina, and it's this green multi-chrome right here, and it's kind of hard to see, but there is definitely a little bit of pan, and I was really happy with this one because I feel like I made a more gradual like dip rather than like drilling down. I used this shade a total of 9 times to hit pan. I used it across the lid. A lot of multi-chromes I like to use as liner, which I did do with Exosphere, but I also used it a lot just as a lid shade. I don't find it as deep and intense as some of the other multi-chromes, and I think you can see, so these are some of my other Divina multi-chromes, and Exosphere is a lot more flaky rather than smooth like these other 3. So I think that also helped in hitting pan faster than the, like, say I did this shade. That one would probably take me longer just because it's not as flaky. It's more like very firm and smooth. So that is another shadow rolling out of this project. And we'll roll another single in its place. And again, this is Scintillate and this is Exosphere. You can't really see the shift on the way I swatched it, but there's blue and there's green. Blue, green. Next up, we had my Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette, and this used to be like my focus palette, and then I switched it over to my singles, but this time around we had Phoebe, which is this middle shade over here, and there's a dip going, definitely, but no pan yet, but I did hit a bonus pan in Phoebe last night, so it's a little baby dip, but this was in the project previously. I had used it, I think, 20 times. This is the shade Sabrina, and I finally hit a little baby pan in that shade, so that's very exciting. So yeah, Phoebe is staying in until, so I used that a total of 8 times, and I've got 12 more to go until I can roll it out. So this is Phoebe swatched out. It's a nice pinky purple. It's not as sparkly and shiny as some of the other, here, let me pull it back out. It's very smooth, As you can see, like the dip is almost looking like hard pan, but it's not as like sparkly. It's almost leaning on a satin. So I've been taking this shade, which is Prue, and just using that to add a little bit of extra sparkle to the shadow. Next up, we have the shade Sweet Tooth from my Melt Smoke Sessions palette. Let me show you the swatch first. This is the shadow. I used it a total of 9 times, and as you can see, there's no pan, but definitely a dip at the top. Hopefully by the next update I can hit pan on it. It's a very weird texture. It's kind of squishy. I don't know. I don't love this formula, and the shadow is not my favorite. It's not very, I don't know, like it leans on a satin, you know? Like it looks shiny, I guess, on there, but it's not the shiniest I feel like a shimmer can be. So it's not my favorite, but it is sticking around another month. And lastly, we have the shade Alpha from my Menagerie Feral palette, and it is that dark gray swatch down here. I unexpectedly loved using this. I used it so much. In fact, I have used it 20 times, so I can roll it out. Unfortunately, I did not hit pan, but there is a big dip in Alpha, and I had like mixed it with another shade, which is why there's like that weird discoloration around it, but it's not like anything's wrong with it. I loved using this palette. I used the greens a lot. I used like the shade Canis Lupus next to it. I used that a lot. I used the shimmer a ton and this blue. I just all around enjoyed having this palette in this project, and I would have I don't think I used Alpha maybe more than once or twice before rolling it in, and it just like sparked a new it just sparked like a new love for cool tones for me. And I use this green shade all the time. I paired it with Exosphere a lot, and I just really loved using this gray shade, which was so surprising, but it's kind of fun. Like that's like part of the fun of this project, is discovering shades you wouldn't have used otherwise. So because I used that 20 times, we are going to be rolling in 3 new eyeshadows into this project. And let me check out my list. So we're gonna roll in the 2 palettes first, and then we'll do the single. So right now I have 630 eligible shadows to roll into this project. So let me pull up, I always forget where Pretty Random goes. Okay, I have to re-download it. Hold please. So we've got 1 to 630, and we're gonna randomize 2. So we've got 580, we've got 281, and then my singles list, 212 single shadows. So we're gonna do 1 to 212, and we're gonna do 30. So let me see what those shadows are, and I will be right back. Alright, so I just pulled all the shadows, and I'm very, very excited. So let's just hop right into it. First up, I pulled number 580, which is actually from my Lavender Chinchilla palette from Tammy Tenuka. I just got the little baby mini size, and it's so tiny, and the pans are even tinier. Like, look at these things. But that's okay, because I'm never going to use up all of these shadows. But I rolled in a shade 042. So I pulled a 042, which is this middle shade up at the top. So let's swatch it. It's really just a pretty silver shade, which is great because I've been really into cool tones, as I said. So that is the shade 042 from the Lavender Chinchilla palette. Then I pulled 281, which actually comes from my Glam Shop W Zalone palette. And I got the shade Florina, which is this matte green up here. So that's really exciting. I pulled a lot of indie shadows, so I'm really excited about that. This is a really pretty green shade, and I love the Glam Shop mattes, so I'm happy to have a matte in this project. And then for my single, I pulled number 30, which is Marshmallow Pillows from Divina, which I think is a beautiful shade. I don't wear pinks a lot, so I think I had another pink shade from Divina in this project, so this will once again be putting me outside my comfort zone, which I love. So that swatch is very sheer. I feel like I could probably hit pan on this pretty quickly because it swatches really sheer, but that is Marshmallow Pillows. It's like a pink to blue. Oh my god, I don't know how to show it. So that is Marshmallow Pillows right there. It's a lot more sheer than Phoebe up here. And so this is my brand new color story, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. I wish I had like one more matte, but I think I can hit pan on Phoebe and Sweet Tooth, and then potentially Marshmallow Pillows if I use it a lot, especially with the shade Phoebe. So we'll see. I'm really excited because I'm using like all indie shadows, which is amazing. You guys know I love my indie makeup. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Once again, sorry I didn't have an update last month, but I just felt like I didn't really have the time, and it was just going to be a boring update anyway, so I'm really excited that I waited because I got to roll in 3 new shadows, and I'm really excited about them. So yeah, I think that's enough rambling for now. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment if you like down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!